Hi, welcome to BackChat. Today, I'm joined by Wika Kawina, the founder and managing director of Wilocate Logistics. Wika, hi, welcome.
Hi, Choolwe. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. We're looking forward to having a conversation with you, learning more about your business, learning more about what you do, and about your field. So please, could you tell us a bit about yourself?
Okay, thank you. So as Choolwe mentioned, my name is Wika Kawina and I'm the founder of Wilocate Logistics. I'm Zambian and I've been running this company for about 4 years now. In terms of my professional career, I started out in the banking sector with FNB in Kitwe, where I worked as a trainee for about 3 months. Then I got into the management consulting industry with a company called Challenges, where I worked for about 2 years. And on there, I did a lot of project management and business development. And it's at that point where I sort of morphed into what I am currently. So from Challenges, I then moved to Prospero Zambia, where I did, again, a lot of project management. I did a lot of work in the impact investments sector. I did a lot of capacity building initiatives for SMEs that are looking to raise financing. And then here we are now, currently running the company that we've talked about slightly. And yeah, so that's really my background.
Okay, thank you for that. And well done to you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We know it's not easy running a business, starting a business. So could you tell us the background of Wilocate, how it came to be?
Okay, so I started Wilocate sometime in 2019. One of my colleagues at Prospero, his name is Brian. Hi, Brian, in case he's watching this. He was moving house from Long Acres to New Kasama, and he was looking to hire somebody with a truck. So most of the times, Brian would come to me if he needed he needed introduction to a service provider, or he was looking to buy stuff and he was looking for where he could purchase it for cheaper, because he was an expatriate and didn't have much experience, with acquiring certain services here in Zambia.
Locally, yes.
So I did know somebody that had a truck, and I introduced him to a friend of mine who then moved his house. So then I think 2 weeks after Brian had moved house, those two other people needed to move, and they went through to Brian asking him, hey, who moved you? And then he then referred them to me. Again, I had no interest in providing that service, so I then pushed them, to the same friend of mine.
Okay.
And I think it was about the day before they actually moved. He then came back to me and said, I won't be able to assist these guys because I've got other stuff going on.
Okay.
And then me being me and wanting to help them, I then, felt bad, and I had to start, looking for who could move them.
And you didn't want to disappoint them?
I didn't want to disappoint them.
Yes.
Yeah, because I had committed to assist. So I then started inquiring, what do I need? I was on YouTube watching videos. Where can I get boxes? I was told, okay, you can get boxes from here. Who could do the packing? And then luckily I had, some aunties at home who were at home at that time, and they were happy to assist. And then I'm in the office, I'm speaking to my boss, I'm stranded, I need a truck, blah, blah, blah. What sort of truck do you need? And I mentioned that I needed a containerized truck. And then coincidentally, her husband is actually in transportation.
Oh, wow.
And he had trucks, and they were available the next day. And that's how we moved those two people. So I did that for about a year. I wasn't really advertising. I didn't really think it would be something most people would be interested in. So when the business just started at that point, it was mainly expatriates that were acquiring our services. And I didn't think Zambians would be able to, pay somebody to move. Because growing up, if you're moving house, you do it individually. Yeah, so I didn't think Zambians would be interested in such services. So I never thought much about it. But then in 2021, I was looking for something to do, basically, yeah. And someone came to me and said, why don't you work more on your current business? I'm like, I don't think I would put it off like that, considering where I want to get to. So there was that encouragement that came through. I just relooked at a few things. So initially I used to charge in dollars. So that's one of the first things I changed. I started charging in kwacha to make it more friendly, to Zambians who are the majority, because at the end of the day, you only have a handful of expatriates, and then you have this big pool of Zambians that you can sell your services to. So that's one of the first things I changed. Then I got the company incorporated, and I started advertising more. I was now active on social media, because at that time the business wasn't even online. So I then open social media accounts. And yeah, within a short period of time, I started having local people hiring our services, and it's been on the increase. So definitely it was a market that was quite untapped, and we do have quite a lot of people that want to, acquire such services, because they always tell me, we just see it in the movies. We didn't know we could.
It could be done. It's being done.
It
So
could be done
yeah, no,
locally.
well done. So with what you said, what do you think are the key elements and the keys to running a successful business in Zambia?
Okay, so most people will actually think, or most people do say, I have a business idea, but I can't start it because I don't have money, right? While that can be true, again, I do think you can start a business without money.
Agreed.
So when I said Wilocate with our very first client, there was no money at all. It was zero kwacha, right? So you just have to be strategic, and it's also good to know how you can work with other people. So for example, with our very first client, we didn't have any money to, pay for trucks or whatever. So whatever we charged that client paid for everything else, right? And I think that's a model I've adopted, from since inception until now. Every client that we get, I make sure that whatever quote I give them, it pays for all the expenses.
Okay.
Yes, so...
And profit, of course.
And profit, exactly. And then I also think it's good to put together a quality team. Again, I'm going to say this. You don't need to spend so much money hiring people when you're just starting, right? I think I'm now 4 years into the business, and even up to now, I don't have full-time staff, right?
Okay.
Because it's expensive for me to have full-time staff.
So how many staff do you work with, or people do you work with?
So right now, I'm working with 20 people, and they're all part-time. So they only come in when we do have clients. And that has worked well for me because, again, once they complete a job, I get to pay them and it ends there,
okay.
Right?
So yeah, as we conclude our discussion on BackChat, what are your hopes for Zambian businesses and for Wilocate for the next 12 months?
So for the next 12 months, I think I had this conversation before we came on set. The next 12 months, I'm really looking to expand into the corporate world. So for the past 4 years, we've been providing a lot of residential moving services. And this year, we've seen an increase in the number of corporate relocations that we've been doing. And that's kind of where I want the company to be at in the next 12 months. So we do have bigger moving companies in Zambia that have been, providing moving services to the larger corporations, the embassies. If embassies are looking to bring in expatriates, they're the ones who are doing all that. And that's a space where I'm trying to get to as well, because then we'll increase our own capacity internally. And ideally, I want to hire some of my current team from part-time to full-time, because then they also have that stability when it comes to their revenue that they're making as well. So in the next 12 months, really, I'm trying to get more into the corporate space. And ideally, we raise some money as well. So I have been having so many conversations with different people. We've been trying to raise money for us to have our own fleet of trucks. So right now, as we locate, we aggregate different trucks from small-scale truck owners. Again, these are not formalized people. So they don't have access to the wider logistics industry. These are people who you'd find they've parked their trucks by a corner somewhere waiting for business. But then through my company, again, they get something that is a bit more consistent. So right now we have 3 different drivers that we work with. And we have a database of up to 20 drivers. But then I deliberately work with the 3. Again, as I mentioned before, it's about the consistency in
relationships
and the relationship. Yeah.
Okay, great. We'll be following. Thank you for coming. This is BackChat, and Wika Kawina has been sitting here with us, telling us about Wilocate Logistics. Is there anything else you want to say as we wrap up? Any last words?
I think I just want to thank our past clients. I think it's been an industry that has been untapped locally, and it takes a lot of trust, to send money upfront to somebody that you've never interacted with, which is usually the case, especially with our residential clients. And also to thank the team that I work with. They've been very, very amazing. Everybody else that has supported the business financially, with technical assistance, with coaching, with mentorship, I want to thank those people.
Well done. And where can we find Wilocate? Social media?
Yes, so it's Wilocate Logistics. On Twitter it's just Wilocate. On Instagram is Wilocate Logistics. On Facebook. And then we do have a website. So this is wilocatelogistics.com. And on that website, we do have a web app. So basically, we provide on-the-go quotations. So you fill in a form. It will ask you where you're moving to, where you're moving from, when you would like to move, and if you are willing to have insurance. So we do provide mandatory insurance as a business. So you tick on what makes sense for you, and then you get a quotation within an hour.
Okay, well done. So this has been BackChat with Wika Kawina. We're going to be following her journey. And finally, and once again, thank you for coming, Wika.